Today I'm going to teach you a simple forehand technique that's going to help beginners get up and down from, we'll call it 150 to 200 feet, and it'll help advanced, intermediate, really anybody who has a decent forehand get either the same distance with less effort or start getting more distance, probably still with less effort. So the other day I did a forehand lesson. We went over everything up in my head about how to throw a forehand, and at the end of it I felt like there was one key takeaway that I've said before, but I don't think I've ever put on like a single video. Really all it comes down to is timing. Timing is the most important thing in disc golf. Today I want to show you guys a few tips, tricks, cues that I think could really help you out. Let's get into it. So I'm going to try and land one between the two trees out there. We got a bunch of Trash Panda canyons today. Little side hand slinger. Swings right through. I'd assume that's 150 feet away from me. Easy little chip up shot, and that's what I want you guys to be able to do effortlessly after today. An issue I see with a lot of players who are trying to throw a forehand but can't seem to get any spin, it comes out wobbly, you know, they barely get any distance, is that they're throwing their hand. Although the disc is in your hand, the last thing you want to do is throw your hand. I'll explain a little bit more. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like, hopefully. Now that honestly wasn't horrible, but hopefully you kind of got the idea there. Basically, a forehand is most effective when your shoulder goes, elbow leads, and the hand is almost just acting as a hook. You have the disc in your hand that's kind of dragging behind, and everything snaps into place, and then the timing helps it follow through. Now, what I tried to demonstrate there was basically a forehand throw where the hand is leading the elbow, so the elbow never really comes through, and the forehand and the hand is kind of leading the throw. Now that'll work sometimes if you're doing just like a little toss, like a little pitch out of the woods or something, you know, where you're throwing a little scramble shot. But to get a little bit of distance, get your timing, and make the shot look good, make it smooth, I really think it all comes down to timing out the shoulder, elbow, and the hand. So this is pretty much what I'd be looking for. I've been throwing forehands for years and years and years. My favorite forehand in the game is Big Germ, and I think this style really is something I learned from watching him and trying to throw cool flip-up shots with flippy mids, and then it translated to me realizing that if you can generate the spin and the timing, you can get a lot of distance with very little effort. If you're a beginner, what I want you to do is start in just, you know, your normal stance. Stand still forehand stance. Take the disc. I recommend holding it like that. But what we're going to focus on is throwing the elbow through and acting like the hand. You know, you guys ever shoot clay pigeons or throw your dog a tennis ball, the little, you know, plastic thing that holds it in the end and it whips it out? Think of your hand as the thing that holds the clay pigeon or the tennis ball. Think of your elbow pretty much being where your hand would be holding, you know, the end of that toy, I guess we'll call it. I don't even know. And that's pretty much what I want you guys to think of when you're throwing the forehand, is you're actually throwing your elbow, not the hand. The hand, if done right, is just holding the frisbee, and then your elbow throws, and then it spins out. So some of you may be thinking, yeah, this is cool, but I literally can't throw a forehand at all. Like, I don't even know how to get the disc to come, like, to spin, you know. And in a forehand, spin is the most important. If you have a lot of speed but you have no spin on your forehand, you're gonna throw. Those are the guys who are like, oh dude, I got this new Star Destroyer, it's really flippy, but they only can throw it 200 feet. That's because they're probably throwing it like 60 miles an hour, but their RPMs are 600. So it's not spinning it all, and they're just torquing it over. We're trying to do the complete opposite. We're trying to spin it, and the speed, honestly, will follow. The smoothness, the timing will generate the speed. And so what I want you to focus on is your hand placement. Now, there's many different forehand grips. You know, you got like kind of a stack grip, the sexton, like Paul Macbeth. You got like the power grip. You got this one. You got the one finger. The one finger, honestly, is not the worst for little up and down shots. But what I like is this finger. This finger. What I like is this grip. Make sure it's turned a little bit so that the pad of your middle finger is right on the inner rim, kind of like halfway between the inner rim and the flight plate, kind of just jammed right in that corner. You don't want to have them flat like this. And if they're just like that, what I want you to focus on, rolling the disc off of that middle finger. Nothing else matters other than rolling it off the middle finger, okay? That's the only thing you're thinking about, is the last point of contact being that middle finger, and literally like pushing it through the zone. Literally push, middle finger rolls the frisbee, and you're gonna generate some spin. Now, hopefully some of this is making sense to you guys. If it's not, I'm not a disc golf coach, so to be honest, I just have ideas, and I feel like I have a smoother and better forehand than like a lot of people, and I think I know why. So I'm trying to just share that with you guys. But if you can put together rolling it off the middle finger, throwing the elbow, not the hand, and then adding a little bit of just athleticism to it, just be an athlete, I think you'll have a decent little forehand, at least in that just 150, maybe 200 foot chip up shot range. I'm gonna show you one here. Grip, set up. Pad of the middle, on the rim, do a little stutter step, lead with that elbow. Hand doesn't even matter. It's just there. All it's doing is holding the disc until the last second when you snap it through the zone. And now this is something you guys are gonna have to work on and learn, because I do this all the time. So my timing has gotten to the point where it's pretty automatic. I can kind of just do it with no effort at all. But if you're able to get your body to kind of get a rhythm where you walk into that follow through, swing it up, elbow goes, forget about what this hand is doing, guys. As long as you set that grip before the throw, it's gonna be fine. And then follow through. Those are a few simple tips. If you want more information on my thoughts on the forehand, like I said, not a coach, but I have a lot of thoughts that go through my head, and I have a couple videos, I'll put them up here, that I've stood in the field, yapped your guys' ears off for many, many minutes, but I do think there's a lot of good information in there. I've had hundreds, and I'm not even kidding, hundreds of people message me saying that their forehand kind of changed overnight. But today, this video, I just wanted to touch on something that I think can get a beginner to have something. And then I want to talk a little more right now kind of about if you're an intermediate, advanced forehand, like you have a decent forehand, but you're like, man, I really have to try hard to throw the disc 350 feet. I think if you work on this same stuff, you're gonna be able to tone down the effort, but get the same result. So obviously that one, I threw a lot further. I tried to get a little more on it and kind of show you guys how if you learn the basics of what I'm telling you here, you can translate the speed later. You can kind of gain the speed, gain the momentum, gain the comfort, and I think it's gonna really help you develop decent distance on your forehand with just very minimal effort. And that's really what I like to do, is just throw a forehand that's simple, that doesn't really torque the body too much, really keeps things like feeling fresh. And hopefully you guys can do the same. We'll throw one more just for fun. Oh, that's actually so nice. That's all the yapping I got for today. Shout out to Jesse for sending me all those canyons. Kind of dialing those in. Let me know if you like that, guys. Let me know if you want any more tips, tricks for disc golfing. I'm not a coach, but I've been playing for over half my life and I kind of know some things. So let me know. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.